Hi fellows, and welcome back to Lotus Elise Tech Talk, and this time we'll be talking about the brake pads of the Lotus Elise. We will be replacing them and we will check them out. And as always, we'll start with a little bit of tech talk, and after that we'll get our hands dirty and I'll show you exactly on how you can replace them. Now be aware, brakes are your life, and so if you don't feel comfortable with changing the brake pads on your own, then don't do it. But to be very honest, it's a very simple and easy job to do, so I think personally that everybody is able to do this. So let's start. The Lotus Elise is fitted with discs all around the car, and they are exactly the same in the front and in the back. The only exception is that the brake caliper in the front is built by Lotus and the brake caliper in the back is built by Brembo. Now the front calipers on the Lotus Elise is what we call dual piston calipers. There's a piston on the outer side and there's a piston at the inner side. And those two pistons are pushing the brake pads against the disc whenever you depress the brake pedal. And because they are of a different model, the calipers, you will need different brake pads. Brake pads for the front and the rear are different just because we have different calipers fitted. Remember, the front has the Lotus brake calipers, and in the back we had the Brembo brake calipers. That's why the disc pads are different. So always make sure that you specify for which part of the car it is, the front or the back. Brake pads also come in different flavors or different applications. Now the ones I'm having here are sport pads from Brembo, because that's a pretty good brand. And you can also buy other types, normal road use brake pads. They come in all kind of styles and flavors, and it all depends a bit on how good they bite when they are cold or when they are warm, and it depends a bit on your driving attitude. If you do a lot of track driving or occasional track driving or no track driving, you may decide to buy the different types, and I think this is a proper type. It fits just nice. Now obviously if your car is fitted with high performance brake calipers that are not the standard ones, then you have to buy the proper brake pads, maybe AP brake pads or something like that. So when should you change your brake pads? That's always a good question. Well, first of all, you should change the brake pads whenever the minimum thickness, which is 2.5 millimeter, is no longer there. That's a good moment in time to change them. Secondly, if you're changing the disc out with a new one, then again you should change the brake pads. And always change the brake pads on the same axle, so always do the two sides of one axle. And of course, if your brake pads are polluted or damaged, then you will have to change them as well. And that's about it. Alright fellows, it's time to get dirty. In the front we have the Lotus calipers fitted, and the brake pads are held in place with two rods basically. So the first thing we'll need to do is to remove the clip in the back. There's a back clip here which you can just pull out like this, as you can see. And there is a second one. Pull that out. And now you can actually remove this little rod to get the brake pads out. So let's remove that. Now, if you do so, note this little plate here. This is the anti-rattle plate. So once you remove the rod, make sure that you keep a close eye on how this anti-rattle plate is fitted, because you have to put it back in the right way. So it sits underneath the bottom rod and underneath the top one, with the arrow pointing upwards. And now it will be a lot easier to remove the top one. There we go. Always inspect the rods that they are intact, and if they are not, you will have to replace them. Alright, so now the brake pads are kind of accessible, but you will have to push them back a bit because they may be sitting just behind the rim of the disc, especially if the disc is a bit worn out. So you can push it back with a screwdriver or something like this, and now you can actually slide them out. 1 and 2. And as you can see, these brake pads are not really worn out. Pads out, you can actually measure the thickness of the brake pad, and that should be minimum 2.5. If it's 2.5 or below, then it's time actually to replace it. Before fitting the new brake pads, it's always good to clean up the caliper. So to do so, you need to undo the two big screws with an Allen key number 8 and the bottom one, and hold the caliper carefully in your hand so it doesn't drop down or stress the hose. Check that everything is dry, that there's no leaks, and then you can actually put it back. But before doing so, I'm going to put some what we call copper grease on the ring of those pistons, so that will help later on in removing the brake pads if I have to change it the next time. And it's easier with the brake pad with the caliper off, so just do it on the edges like so. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. And a little bit around it, a bit on the sides where the pads are sliding. And copper grease is water resistant and heat resistant. Now make sure that you don't get any grease on the brake pads themselves, because that would not be very good with it. Put the bolts back in. Now with the clamp back in place, you can put the brake pads in, but you have to make sure that the cylinders are all the way pushed back. Otherwise you won't be able to slide them in. There we go, that's one. It should go very easily. And if it does not, then there is a problem. And then we do the second one. On this side. Easy as well. Use the top pin. Make sure there's no debris on it and stick it through the hole. Gentle knocking and it's in. And then place basically the little retaining clip at the end through the hole of that little pin or rod. Make sure it is locked. Now you need to put the anti-rattle plate in place with the arrow pointing upwards like so, and with this part hooking behind the top bar. I found that the easiest way to do. And then you take your second rod or bar or whatever you want to call it, or pin, push this one down and make sure that the pin goes over it. And gently knock it in place. And same as on the top one, put the little split pin in. Here we go, and make sure it locks. And that's it. We are all done. Replacing the rear brake pads is a bit different than in the front, because first of all, this is another caliber. It's what we call a Brembo caliber, and it's a single piston caliber with a sliding mechanism. So there's only one action point on one piston that pushes the brake pad against the disc, and then the claw has been pulled back on the other side, and that's what the sliding mechanism is over here. And I'll show it to you in a few minutes. And you'll find some gaiters on the top of that. And if they are damaged, then you have to replace them. One other thing is that because the rear brake clamp is also having the manual brake, which is a self-adjusting brake, you will need a special tool to push back the piston of the caliper into the cylinder. And actually you can't push it in, you need to turn it in. And I made a special tool for that because you can buy the tool, but that's the tool I made, and I will explain it to you in a few minutes what it is, and then you can have it closed up and you can make it yourself. It doesn't cost you much, just a nut and a metal plate, but you're going to need this to reposition the piston of the caliper back into position after you remove the brake clamp. So let's get on with it. So this is the tool I was talking about. So it's basically a metal plate with 2 pins on, and you just drill 2 holes at about 20 millimeters apart, and the little pins are about 2.5–3 millimeters, and they fit right in the holes into the piston of the rear caliper. And on the other side I just welded basically a bolt on it. I mean, it's not really welded very nice. I very quickly made it, so then I can place a socket on it and I can actually turn it, right? So you can turn it like this. So you can also buy the tool, but I just made it myself. It took me about 15 minutes to build it. And the pins are about, I would say, 3 to 4 millimeters deep. And that's it. Now to remove the brake pads, you have to undo this pin here, and for that one you need to drive it out from the back, and you will need a driver. You can also use a screwdriver if you want. And there's a little hole in the back, you need to stick it in, use your hammer, and then basically knock it out gently. And you see that in the front end there is a pin coming out here, and you can actually then pull it all the way out like so. Also notice that there is a spring, and it has a bended end and a straight end. The bended end sits over here and the straight end sits here, and the eyes are upright, so don't forget that part. So now typically you should be able to remove the brake pads if the rim on the edge of the disc is not too big, and if not, then you will have to remove the brake clamp, and that's what I'm going to do. So you will need a key number 17 and undo the top nut here. And already undid it partially. See, already the brake pads are coming almost out. Here we go. And there's another bolt on the bottom, which you have to undo with a key number 6. Sorry, let me just get in your way for a minute. And of course I undid those already before a little bit, so it doesn't take too long. And you can actually take the clamp off, and basically here are the old brake pads, and here's the brake clamp. And you see the piston sitting here, right here, and you see the 2 little holes in it. And those are the 2 holes, so before you put the new brake pads in, you have to turn that back in, because otherwise the brake pads are too thick and they won't fit. Lotus talks about a special tool, but I made my own tool, and this is the tool, and I'll make a close-up later. Nothing special, a metal plate and 2 metal pins, and on the other side I welded a bolt on it, a nut, sorry, and the distance between the 2 pins is about 20 millimeters, and I just slide it in the holes of the piston like so, as you can see, and then I just will turn it in with a key. With a socket, a 24 in my case, and you can see it's turning, right? So now the piston is being put back in its normal position and all the way back. So you have to do this, otherwise you can't fit anything. You can't fit the new brake clamps, really. So you have to do it until it's all the way at the end. It doesn't take a lot of force. So that's now reset, and now I should be able to fit the brake pads. However, you might notice these gaiters here, and this is the sliding mechanism, as you can see, what I was talking about before, and that has to slide very smoothly. And if you notice on your brake pads that you have an uneven wear and tear on the left or the right, then most likely this whole sliding mechanism is seized up, and then you need to replace it. Mine actually had a broken gaiter, and here is the gaiter, and I replaced it already. This is not hard. And if you put the new gaiter up, clean up the rod inside, and put some silicone-based grease on it. Alright, so we are done with that. So now I'm going to fit the new brake pads. So I'm going to use some copper grease again to put it on the piston, and a little bit on the clamp where the brake pads are going to be sitting. You might want to put some silicone based grease as well at the bottom part of the sliding mechanism while it's open anyhow. Put also the second brake pad in. Slide it over to where it's supposed to sit. Put the bolt up. Not finally out, but just to keep things in place. Don't forget the spring. And we'll need to push it back a bit. It's a bit of fiddling, guys, but not that hard to do at the end, you'll see. There we go. And then gently knock it in place. And now the pads are in place, the spring is in place, and now you can start bolting down the bolts and you're all set. Don't forget to torque them down to the right torque, all those bolts. So that is it. That was the replacement of the rear brake pads. So remember, if you do the rear brake pads, you need to have the special tool. And you might want to change basically the gaiters if they are broken on the sliding mechanism. And that's about it. Not very hard to do. Takes you about half an hour. So guys, this is it. You've seen how to replace the front brake pads and the rear brake pads. The front brake pads are easy to replace. You can push back the cylinders or the pistons very easily on the brake clamps. In the rear of the car, it's a bit more difficult on the Brembo calipers because you need to have a special tool to turn back in the piston of the brake caliper. You may be lucky that you can slide in your disc pads without turning it back in, but normally that's not going to be the case. So either you buy the tool or you make yourself a tool. And that's it. Now again, if you don't feel comfortable with working on your brakes, then don't do it because it's your life. Brakes are your safety. They make the difference between hitting something and coming home safely. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time in my next video. Thanks.